10 years passed since Bastion was released, and it was one of the games that started the indie boom at the start of the last decade. Bastion was first released 2011 for the Xbox 360 via Xbox Live Arcade. The game was only made by 7 people, but still, the game feels like a AAA title in every way. And now, after 10 years, the game was ported on every major system. What did the game do so good that deserves so high praises from the critics and the fanbase? And what was my opinion on the game? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome once more to the Rbgshow, where we take a look at Bastion. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you didn't and hit that notification bell, it will help the channel. So with no more delay, let's start with this video. After selecting a new game, you're greeted with a scene where the kid, yes, that's how the character is actually named. I think the developers had a really hard time to coming up with that name. Jokes aside, so the kid wake up from his bed in a floating and lonely city was used to be Solandia. Immediately at the beginning you feel that the game is something special. So at the start you are thrown in a tutorial selection, where you learn the basic moves, and at the end of the level you proceed to the Bastion. What plays a huge role in the game and acts like a hub world. And I love hub worlds. It is that level in the game where you feel at home, where you can manage your skill, your inventory, just love those levels. There you meet Rock. He plays a major role in the game as he is the narrator of the game. And finally, after meeting him, you get a grasp of what happened. He tells you that the calamity that occurred caused the city to collapse. The whole world falls apart and most of the people are turned into ash. He informs us if we collect the cores, we could manage to rebuild the city. With no other choice, the kid travels with these things called skyways. He takes his hammer and bow and starts his journey to get back the cores to rebuild his homeland. After collecting the cores, you'll meet with 2 survivors. The one named Zulf, an ambassador of underground dwelling people named Ura, who were in the war with Solandia till he was sentenced to a permanent peace.
Never been a common sight in Solandia.
The second character is Zia, an Ura girl raised by her father in Solandia. The story revolves of the kid's adventure, but the whole story is followed by the narrator's Rox, who talks on every step you take.
An old repeater falls out of the sky. Ain't a gift from the gods, but it'll have to do.
Making the game having a unique style to it, so you never ever alone.
Leave me alone.
How he describes the events that happen around you and how is he from time to time funny and ironic gives the game a special charm to it, in my opinion.
Then he falls to his death. I'm just fooling.
But it can be somehow too much how he states the obvious. But still, I wouldn't make a change that part of the game even if I could. The development team tried to make Bastion look like an old school RPG game with design. How they implemented a 3D isometric camera view and how it isn't possible to show a sky in such a view. They made the whole game in the sky. Yeah baby, Bioshock Infinity style. Bastion tries to show you the emptiness that Calamity did, and how the level is unfolding in front of you as you progress to the level is a great art direction, plus a clever game design also, because with this style you don't need a map, because you will always know where have you been. And they made it feel all really natural. The levels are mostly linear, but with a few branch paths with some items to pick up. The problem for me is sometimes if you're not sure which path you're gonna take, it can happen that after taking the main path, the side path gets blocked. But hey, didn't find that a huge deal breaker. Still, nevertheless, everything feels so organic. And the art that they use making the game feel really beautiful, despite the apocalyptic nature of the game, is very appealing in my eyes.
All kinds of...
It would be nice that somebody thought about that when they made Fallout 3 so we didn't get 50 Shades of Brown. Plus, using the oily paint graphic is just something fresh, and the softness the game tone plus separates the game from others. But this art style wouldn't be perfect without a good soundtrack, and this is another segment where the game just shines. With this track being my favorite without any doubt.
And besides, it's like the song goes.
Plus the combination with the narrator, who is voiced by Logan Cunningham, who has a calming voice and a well-written script, makes the game a perfection.
We become fast friends. Calamity has that effect on people.
And once again, only 7 people made this game. The whole presentation overall is just amazing. In the beginning, some games drag it for too long, and it can be a hassle to get a tutorial section done. Looking at you, Assassin's Creed, where the Bastion lets you just jump right into the game. You get the introduction level, so you get to know the layout of the buttons, and off you go. You have 2 weapon slots plus a secret ability to use, which for every use you spend 1 black potion.
Black! Did you say black?
What are found in the levels or after killing an enemy. You also have health potions that can be used to replenish your health bar, aside from drinking water, because drinking alcohol. The weapons are scattered around the levels and you need to find them. After finding a weapon, they can be upgraded, plus there is a proving ground where you can test your skill with the weapons you collect and get prizes, and with the ultimate prize, the weapon's secret skill. In between levels you will visit the hub world, as I previously mentioned, where you can buy materials to upgrade your weapons. The hub world itself is also upgradable after bringing shards, which unlock certain skills or upgrades. With every level you will unlock an empty spot to take a certain potion that gives you power-ups, from damage resistance to ability to carry more potions. And I heard that some complain about the difficulty of the game. It isn't that challenging. Well, I think that the game balances itself alright. Plus, if it's still too easy, there is a shrine in the hub world, and in there you can invoke the gods, giving you disadvantages but rewarding you with extra XP. What I found a great idea to slightly tune the difficulty to your skill. Another thing in the hub world is the few proving grounds, like the level simply named Who Knows Where. Those levels are unlocked after picking up certain items. This is a place where your skills are put to test. You will be swarmed with some crazy combinations of enemies, so you better be prepared. Hell, I didn't even win the first proving ground after I didn't gather some new weapons. And in that time you're trying to stay alive, the narrator will tell you the background story of some characters, what just put a huge smile on my face. Now I'm going to the spoiler territory, just so you know. Bastion is one of the games where you play and everything works in your favor. And then everything goes to shit. And the game shows its true length. After getting your somehow long hands on the last core, seriously, look at his hands. You think everyone is going back to their normal lives, or so they think. When Zia first comes to the camp, she brings a diary written by her father in traditional Yira language with Rux understanding pieces of it. Zulf tries to translate the diary. In the meantime you fight your way to the last core. After translating, he discovers that the calamity is the result of building a weapon by science of Salondia, known as the Mansours, and the Zia's father was forced to be a part of the project. And the ultimate goal was to destroy the ongoing war. After reading some more stuff, he rages and destroys the monument, the only thing that could put Solandia together. The kid tries to find his whereabouts. As he tries to find the shards to repair the damage he has done.
All that trouble for a single shard. But you know what? It was worth it.
When the king finds the last shard, in the meantime, Ura attacks and kidnaps Zia in the process. The kid spends the next 7 days fighting without a rest to find her. After he reaches the enemy outpost, he finds out that Zia wasn't kidnapped. Instead, went with Zulf in order to see the truth behind the Bastion, and to see what was the calamity after all. The kid finds its way to the final Ura city, where he sees that Zulf was lying on the floor, taken down by his own people, but still breathing. This is one of two branch paths in the story. We can choose to leave him alone and proceed, or to pick him up, what I have done. Then the enemies are trying to kill you but suddenly stop and let you escape. After that comes the last scene. After all, you find all the shots and cores, and rocks present you with the ability to evacuate or restart the whole world before the calamity in the hopes of preventing it. After picking one of the two endings, you're greeted with the aftermath of your decision and the credits roll, and some little Easter egg. If you pick to save Zulf, he appears in the ending screens. After that, you're rewarded with a new game plus option, where you have few new shrine idols, the steely spirits and some other things, what I left for some other time. The game is maybe 10 years old, but it aged like fine wine. The few bad things in my opinion were the game doesn't have a deep mechanic gameplay. Aside from two weapons in a roll, you don't have any combo list, or some elements to combine the weapons with the secret skills you possess. What isn't that bad considering that, and I will say it again, it was made by a hand of people, but it has many different enemies, so the approach is different and you will use different tactics to find the easiest way to deal with your opponents. Some say the floating levels aren't that good because you can easily fall off, but honestly, with the time you get used to it and it becomes second nature, and it gives a layer of depth in the combat where you need to watch your step. The game runs smooth as butter on the Switch, with a few hiccups here and there, but nothing too serious. The narration can be sometimes too much, but I am one of those players who likes to play Skyrim and endlessly walk alone and enjoying the music and the scenery. Still, not a deal breaker at all. But the gameplay is still fast paced, direct and very enjoyable with the arsenal of secret weapons you can acquire, and it was very fun to play with the different weapons in search of your playstyle that fits your personal needs. The music and the graphics, I don't have any words. If you watched the review till this part, you have seen what the game has to offer, and it's a real treat. And the game feels like a AAA title with the polish the game has. The game doesn't drag it for too long. My playthrough wasn't 100%, but I've upgraded most of the weapons I liked and beaten more of the half proving grounds, and it took me around 6 hours, what was just sweet in my taste. So after 10 years, I would obviously recommend everyone to play this game. Plus, it is very often sold on Nintendoswitch eShop, so it's not going to break your wallet. So go on, buy Bastion and support the great team behind it. And please leave your comments down below, I wanna know what did you think of the game. Thanks for watching the review of Bastion, hope you liked it. So please like the video, share and subscribe, it helps the channel. So stay safe, take care, see you in the next video.